What's going on, guys? It's Mike for SimRacing604, and today I'm going to be reviewing this, the GT Elite cockpit from Next Level Racing. If you've been with my channel for a while, you might be thinking, hold on a second, you already did this review. And you're almost right. So this is the GT Elite. What I use and what I reviewed previously is the FGT Elite. So Next Level Racing listened to reviewers like myself and people like you who said the FGT Elite was just a little bit too on the pricey side and had some features that weren't necessarily pertinent to every user. For example, it's motion ready, it has a formula seating position. Those are things that people might want but don't necessarily need. So they basically stripped it back and taken off 30% of the MSRP to make this more sort of value-oriented option. So this GT Elite cockpit is what I'm going to be unboxing, building, and reviewing today. Let's get into that. So welcome to my living room. I'm actually running out of space in my garage and my studio to put something like a new cockpit. So I'm going to be building this in my living room. So welcome. And as mentioned, this is the GT Elite from Next Level Racing. It is their latest aluminum extrusion cockpit. And there are two versions of it. This one here is the wheel plate edition, meaning it's got a flat plate where the wheel, your wheelbase can mount on top of. And then there's also the front mount edition, which basically has two arms and will mount to the front of your wheelbase, depending on which one you happen to own. So me using the Fanatec CSL-DD, my preference is to bottom mount. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. So as mentioned in this video, I'm going to do a build and unboxing of this. And in the FGT Elite video, I just kind of skipped through it. But for this video, I want to do the full build because I really enjoyed the build process with the FGT Elite cockpit. I thought the instructions were nicely laid out. They included all the tools, all the parts were well labeled, and it was actually really, really fun to build. So I'm going to try and do that again, but this time I'm going to give you guys the full build. And so that's what I'm going to use my time in this video for. And it's going to be a slightly less detailed review than my FGT Elite. I will drop links in the description below where you can find that FGT Elite build. And it's a fantastic cockpit. I've used it for the last, I'm going to say it's 5 months now since I've done that review. Zero complaints. It's such a great cockpit, and I'm so happy that they listened to feedback from people like me and made a more value-oriented option for people who might not want some of these sort of secondary features. So yeah, let's go ahead. I gotta switch cameras because I don't have enough space on my memory card to do a full build, but I'm gonna switch cameras and then I will get this thing open, get some parts laid out, and start building the GT Elite cockpit. And afterwards, I'll get a new seat, which I will review in a separate video. I'll get that new seat fitted to this cockpit and do a test drive, and then give you guys my thoughts on the GT Elite. So let's go ahead and start the build. All right, guys, so let's get started. Hopefully all the tools are included because I didn't bring mine up from the garage. So we have instruction manual. Let's see my camera. There we go. Instruction manual. Some optional accessories here. Optional bottom mount, seat angle, and height adjustment. So not sure exactly what that will do. And then some stickers that just might find their way into my studio. All this aside for now. So let's see what else we have here. Oh, a new neck lanyard. I actually have the old red neck lanyard, and it's pretty slick. So then we get into the main parts. What I'm trying to sort of discover here is where all the hardware is. Now, some of the styrofoam has started to sort of chip away here. So it's I got a few styrofoam covered pieces. I'm not sure if you guys can see that or not. But yeah, so there are markings here. I see left, I see right. Let me crack the instruction manual, and we'll really get started here. And there's also assembly videos that you can find online, and there's QR codes. Hopefully you guys can see this, but there are QR codes in the instruction manual for helping find those videos. All right, so it's referring me to bolts, but there is no bolts on the top layer here. Whoops. So I don't know if I can lift this whole. There we go. Okay, so I've got a bunch of pieces down here, which I'm not sure where they all go. All heavy grade metal. I'm sure you can hear that. And it looks like under the wheelbase plate, here's the wheelbase plate. Looks like we have everything else we need. So there is feet and end caps and things like that. And this ridiculously heavy bag is, I am assuming, yes, indeed, it is full of everything we need as far as T-nuts, bolts. Did they include Allen keys? Please say yes. Please say yes. Does not appear so. Might be in this bag. There we go. Allen keys. It's a big deal for me that companies include the necessary tools. All right. Bolts. Accessories. I'm going to have to clear myself a space here. So I think I will take this upper tray, put it right down to my right, put the other accessories in front of my feet. And take two of let's get started with the build. So it has everything in the manual. I'm sure you guys don't care too much, but it does have labels for what everything is. So if you ever get confused about whether you're using the right size bolt or not, it will tell you. All right, so this is left. Oh, I see. Okay. So the way, I mean, you guys can't see it, but the way the upper tray is divided, one portion of it is the left side, one portion of it is the right side, which makes perfectly good sense. So that I will call left. Do we have a rear and a front? Rear and front. Rear and front. Huh, interesting. I don't see any labels for rear and front. So I'm looking for two separate pieces of aluminum, which I assume are these. And another piece on the back. All right. So let's see here. So it's telling me to put a whole bunch of T-nuts in. Make sure I got the label right side up. Yes. Can you guys see that? Yeah, you can see that. Oops, wrong bag. So it's saying that for easier installation, hand screw M8 bolt into T-nut to assist sliding T-nut into channel. So I will do that. So it looks like we have two going in the upper channel from this end. And then 4 going into the upper channel from this end, and 2 going into the lower channel. Yes, that is correct. Okay. Myself a bunch of T-nuts ready. So just gonna get these, oops, get these started. So I'm gonna lay these down just so they don't fall off accidentally. In fact, I can lay this down too, gently. I don't think it matters which way they are flipped, but I will keep them consistent. 2 from that end. Like I said, 4 in the upper channel from this side. Oh, I see. So I don't think they want you to leave the bolt in. Am I totally wrong here? Yes, I'm totally wrong. Okay, so 2 go in the outside. These ones actually go on the inside track. Right? Must be. Yeah, so 4 in the upper track. Let me just skip ahead here and make sure I'm right. It only really makes sense. No? Outside? Let me see here. So what does go in the outside? Okay. No, I was wrong. It goes on the outside. It's kind of hard to see, but you can a little bit see the orientation of the T-nuts in the drawing. I thought they were facing the outside. And I am going under the assumption that they are. Two in the bottom, and we should be good. Then we'll start on the right side. Get rid of all these bolts. Good, and we'll pick up the right one now. It should have the logo to the back, which does. Okay, so same thing here. So outside, right? Yeah, outside. We'll do 2 from the front. Actually, get very concerned about scratching the extrusions. I want to keep it on plastic surfaces as much as possible. So let's go 2 in the outside upper is here. Four from the other side. And my hands are getting a little bit marked up from, I don't know, the finish on these T-nuts is what I'm guessing. So if you're concerned about your hands getting a bit marked up, you might want to wear gloves for this. Oops. And almost on to step 2. All right, there we go. There you go. I had trouble figuring out whether it's to be inside or outside. And important, place T-nuts as shown in diagram below the outside right base. So it was there all along. All right, M8 40 mil bolts. Put all these ones away. These are, I'm guessing, 15 or 20 mil. Seal that up so it doesn't spill. And the bags are all labeled. So this is M835. M860. Oh, there we go. M840. So basically the intent here is to get these M840s going this way and to mount to this, which I don't think the orientation matters. So does it need a washer? Yes. Always good to, if M840 sort of diagram doesn't match the bolts, because this bolt is threaded all the way to the head on the diagram. They're not. A little graphic error, not a big deal. Now, normally I would just buzz through this with my ratchet, but I'm going to use the provided Allen keys. Okay, I'm going to crank these down fairly snug. Okay, we'll do the same on the other side. One and two. So these are in the sort of end pieces. There are threaded holes. That's exactly what I'm turning these bolts into. So it goes in fairly easily. Not trying to find a nut or anything like that. Good. Next, we are putting cable management clips in. So how many are we putting in? One. So these little cable management clips, they just kind of slide into these channels. Let's see which, oh, okay. There we go, should be it for now. And then we're going to go ahead and put the left side on. Now normally I would just walk around and do this on the other side, but you guys deserve better than to stare at my rear end, so we'll do it like this. So yeah, I like to keep my my movements small, not doing too much rubbing between the pieces of extrusion because they will scratch. This does have some sort of scratch resistant coating on it, but of course it's not perfect. After this, we'll be on to the next page. So things are going quite well now. So a little bit of trouble figuring out the orientation of the T-nuts at first, but here's we're doing better now. Can't remember if I tightened these or not. Yes, I did. All right, so there's our base. So let's see what is next. So next up, we are going to put the feet on. So we need T-nuts in the bottom, and then we're going to mount feet to it. So obviously we want the label up. Not sure what you guys can see, but basically, I can do it upside down, I guess. So we got these four, I believe they're height adjustable feet. I've never actually toyed with it, but yeah, I believe you can adjust the height. Oh yeah. Nope. Maybe? I don't know. I believe they're height adjustable. Oh yeah, they are too. Interesting. Okay, so for now, get these M8s put away. So I will need 4 T-nuts for this. So yeah, you can use these feet to level your cockpit if need be. There's a second Allen key that needs to bring into play here. You probably can't see it, but the feet have a little, I don't know if key is the right word, but a little nub that slides into the channel. There's just a little ridge there, and that has to sit in the channel, so that obviously keeps this thing from turning, keeps the feet from turning rather. And again, normally I would just walk around and make it a lot less awkward, but I care about you guys enough to not show you my butt. Okay, I mean, no need to really crank the tightness, but there we go. Just 4 feet. Oh, I see. Okay, I was wondering what these were. There's rubber plugs that come with these. I don't think this was the case with the FGT Elite, but there are little rubber plugs here. That's awesome. What a great idea. So that way, I need a number of purposes, not least that it won't scratch your floor. Not that the plastic would have really scratched many floors, but definitely won't scratch with this rubber. It's a little bit softer. And it won't slip anywhere. Awesome job, Next Level Racing. I love that. Okay, next up, let's go back to the proper orientation here. So we are going to align the threaded holes on the upright connections plate with the holes on the vertical post. Huh, okay. So which side? So this is, did I do this backwards? This is back, this is front. I'm confusing myself, which is not a new thing for me. Let's see here. So this will go at the top. So this is going to sit like this. Yes, there we go. All right. Sometimes it takes me a minute, but I get there. So I need a couple of plates here. Right? Yes, like this. At the front. Okay. So this is ultimately going to be a support beam, and so there'll be 2 of these, and then the wheelbase plate will go across. So this pretty heavy metal weight is covering up my instructions. Okay, so it's going to sit something like this. Not sure what you guys can see, but yeah, I'm going to assemble it something like this. Hopefully you guys can see that. And then I need what? I need 35 mil plus washers. Okay, where are my 35s? How am I doing for time? 25 minutes, not bad. So 4 35s on each side. I need washers. So what I'm going to do is put the that section cross-threading a bit, so I just need to be careful. Okay, that's just snug for now. And you can see through the holes. If you get decent light, you should be able to see through the holes. So I'm going to actually drop this in from the top. And you can see the gears turning in my head. I'm so concerned to have this backwards. So feel better about myself. Two. Three. And four. So yeah, I'm not going to get this mounted quite yet, but eventually it will sit like this. And I believe those four, what am I trying to say here? The T-nuts that we put in before, that's where they will come into play. So did I bring my second plate out? No, I did not. There's actually not a lot of extrusion left, so I think things are progressing well for me. And based on experience, I think this will go something like this. There we are. Double check, those are 35s. And let's drop some bolts in. This is not lining up. Should have probably put opposing corners in first, but certainly I shouldn't have tightened it. Not sure why I did that. Three. And four. Okay, put the rest of these washers away. I should have my upright arms. Actually, I need washers. I need bolts. So yeah, I gotta line these up. Now, how far back do I want to go with this? It's got it. Something like this. Oh, I see. Okay. So something like this for now. Where do I want these spares? Okay, the spares will actually go in front. I guess I could add more spares later. Spares go in front or behind? I don't know. Can't really tell. So I guess I can add more T-nuts as needed. So you guys can't see it, but hopefully you'll see it when I get it to the other side. All I'm doing here is just lining up some T-nuts, and then I'm going to put 2 bolts through there and 2 bolts through there. Put my T-nuts too far out. Two. I'm just trying to get these T-nuts to line up, obviously. Oh, I'm in a little bit of trouble though. Oh, I guess I could slide, yeah, never mind. I could slide the whole thing to get it to line up. So, a bit back, and this should be it. There we go. Okay, so I've got 4 bolts. I'm just going to hand snug them for now. Awesome. So I will repeat on the other side, and again, just to reiterate, 2 bolts here, 2 bolts here. Those will obviously line up with T-nuts. So I'm going to get my bolts prepared here. And the reason I'm not snugging those down is because I'm not sure how far back I want to put the wheel plate quite yet. I won't really know until I actually take a seat and start progressing into the actual fitting of my equipment. But let's see here. Something like that. Forgive me, guys. I'll probably be staring at the back of my head for a little while. This one's going a lot easier. Now that I know I can just slide it. Well, can I slide it? Maybe it's too tight. Come on, you. Don't be mean. Okay. I'm not going to worry too much about getting those lined up for now. But yeah, there we go. So we have our uprights. A little bit of cleanup. And it looks like we are putting felt pads on. Okay, so we're gonna put some T-nuts. Can you guys see anything? So we're gonna put some T-nuts in the inner channel here. And that's actually what our wheel plate, our wheelbase plate rather, is going to mount to. Pull the camera back a bit here. Making sure not to accidentally show my collection of stuffed animals. All right. So hopefully you guys can see that. it's got markings on the inside of these uprights, and those are for making sure, or kind of a cheat to get your wheelbase plate level. So I'm going to get it approximately level on either side. And Next Level Racing has thrown in just a mini magnetic level to get the fine adjustments done. But one thing you do need to do is put some felt on the outside of your wheelbase plate. So I'll do that now. There's just these little sticky pieces of felt, which apparently the hardest part is finding out how to open them. There we go. And for this side, and one for this side. So in case you couldn't see that, I just put a couple of pieces of felt on the outside here, and this is the wheelbase plate. And let's see, is there any trick to this? Not really. So something that's I think a bit misleading in these instructions is that it says to the next step is to adjust to the desired distance and height. I think you won't know the distance and height until you actually get your equipment mounted. So. One on that side. Okay, so that's gotta be, this needs to go back, I believe. And these aren't lining up right now, so it's giving me troubles. So I'm gonna back the upright bolts off. Come on, you. Ugh. Come on. People are watching. All right. Well, that's not working. So let me see if I can make something happen here just by brute force. And actually, it's not too bad. Just even loosening those uprights was enough. Okay, so the plate is on there temporarily. So it goes basically, there's two channels on either side of the base plate. And I'm going to put one bolt in each. Okay, voila. So that is basically it. I'm going to re-snug these. So, yeah, there is the basic framework. This is enough to put a pedal on. I might actually tighten these a bit now. I think on mine downstairs, the FGT Elite, I've got it slanted forward so that the wheel is kind of at an incline. Pardon me, so I'll go ahead and do that. And This is where you would like to have a ratchet for sure, because of the felt, there's a lot of travel in these bolts that you can't really do by hand. So doing what I can here with this provided Allen key, and it's fine. It's just if you happen to have a ratchet, it would be better. Okay, so that's good enough for now. Next up, let's see, what are we doing here? I'm going to take the two small pieces, and by small, I mean square. So instead of being aluminum extrusion that's taller than it is wide, this one is square. I think this is the right thing, or is it not? Might have got that wrong. Might have jumped the gun there, folks. Here we are. So I was half right. We're looking for the ones that have markings on them. It says alternate pedal installation for shorter users. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say I'm on the upper end of users. Well, what is the second option? It says alternate installation for shorter users. I am not that. So where does a tall guy like me go? Interesting. Anyway, I'm just going to follow the short user guide, and yeah. If it causes any problems, I'll revisit this. So T-nut. T-nut on the other side. Over the page. We're at roughly the halfway point now. I'm still stumped by that alternate pedal installation. I don't know what they mean by that. I don't see where it says pedal installation method B for taller users. There's a overhanging seat bracket for taller users, but I don't see the pedal adjustment for taller users. All right. Anyway, let's carry on. Let's carry on. So we have reverse my, actually they're orienting it the other way, so I'm going to flip this around. It's got a decent weight to it, not terribly heavy. Okay, so they are going like, can you see me? No, you cannot see me. There, I can see a bit. So I'm going to mount these bars, something like this. How does that work? Okay. So does it go upper or lower? It goes lower. are M8s, M820s with M8 washers. Whoops, have I been using 16s incorrectly? Might have been dipping into the wrong bag, folks. Make sure you carefully read the instructions. Hopefully I didn't mess anything up too badly. I think there's a chance I used 16s where I should have been using 20s. But everything seemed to grip fine, so maybe I got lucky. Alright, so it's going to go on the bottom. There's one. I must have this in the wrong track. Okay. So there we are. So now I've got this arm system here, and I'm going to have bars that go across that, which is where your pedals will mount, which is these bars here. So it will sit in here something like this, and there's another one as well, and that's actually how your pedals are going to hard mount. Okay, so this one goes outside. This guy, which is wider, will go something like this. Okay, so I obviously will need T-nuts. Did it say to put T-nuts in there? I didn't read the T-nut instruction, but obviously will, because there's no threaded holes, and you want to be able to adjust this. Just checking the time, seeing how I'm doing. I think probably by the time I get this all fitted for my gear, I'll probably have to have a lot of this at sort of its extreme length, but we'll see what happens with that. Okay, so actually 16s. Two. Okay, so something like that. Obviously I gotta tighten these bolts so it doesn't travel so much. And again, we're not going to tighten anything yet until we get the actual equipment mounted, but this is broadly what it's going to look like. I'll just snug these down just so you guys can see. But yeah, now we have this. Oops. This pedal assembly or pedal base assembly, which kind of moves as one unit. So yeah, interesting. And oh, I see. Okay. So yeah, this gives you a bit of extra length because you could technically, yes, you could put these lateral plates, you could put them right into the aluminum extrusion, I suppose. But yeah, these longitudinal bars, the ones here, these give you a bit of extra length to play with. I gotcha. Okay, that's done. Pedal adjustment. Okay, now we're going to put these, I don't know, bracing bars, you might call them. These will keep the pedals in place, or keep the pedal plates in place, rather. Nice alliterative talking there by me. So yeah, they're going to sit outside something like this. Okay, I gotcha. Yeah, okay. So I like a fair bit of angle in my pedals. So this is great to have this adjustment. Oh, no. Okay. If you guys remember earlier, I said which side of the of this upright bar should the spares be on. Turns out it is the front. So I'm gonna have to do a little rework here. Nothing much. I'll just back off one bolt and then slide the T-nuts on there. But yeah, it should be up front. T-nut. I'll have to do the same on the other side, of course. Put that bolt right back in. So obviously not a big deal, but just if you happen to buy this cockpit, now you know, spares go at the front. And what are we putting in here? We are putting 16s. Kind of feeling embarrassed about using the wrong side bolts earlier. Please, please, please double check that you're using the right length of bolt. I don't even know for sure that I used the wrong length, but I'm not certain I used the right one either. Let's see here. You stay. Come on, you. Beautiful. Beautiful. All right, so let me get one more T-nut in there. And yeah, this is just going to slide down the channel. You guys will get a better view of this shortly. With a washer. Okay, there's that side done. We will repeat the process here. So in case you guys couldn't, let's see, can you see that? In case you guys couldn't tell what I was talking about having to make the adjustment, this has to come out, this bolt here, in order for me to get the T-nuts in that channel. I gambled and left the spare T-nuts over here. They're down there, not sure if you can see that or not. They should actually be at the front. So again, not a huge issue. And coming up on the 1 hour mark here of this build. Okay, couple of 16s, couple of washers. And somehow I think I have this lined up almost perfectly. So I guess broken clocks are right twice a day, aren't they? And there we go. Just snug for now. And maybe I'll tighten it a little bit more than that. But yeah, bolt tightening notwithstanding, there is where our pedals will go. All right, so what is next? Okay, looks like we're going to start to build something for the seats. So, we need to, actually, I'm going to pause the video for a sec at the 1 hour mark and then start right away. Okay, so, it's still recording? Yes. A couple of pieces of square aluminum again, or aluminium if you prefer. And we're going to put end caps on there. Oh, I see. Okay. So looks like we are going to be fitting the seat, and there's a space for a butt kicker. So I'm going to put 2 in the top channel, 2 in the bottom channel. And got the rig facing the wrong way again, which is unfortunate. So I don't know if I'm going to flip that or if I'll just keep it and just do the sort of mental math of where everything should go. Okay, so it looks like the T-nuts go on the top side, and the future butt kicker mount will go on the bottom side. Is that right? Yes, I believe it is. Top channel slide, attach felt pads to the bottom of the seat slider members. Okay, so felt pad time. Is there 4 in here? We have 4 felt pads. 2, so the T-nuts are to be in the top. So I'm going to put the felt pads on. I know it's been a while since I've shown you guys anything, so here is the extrusion, and I've just put some felt pads here. That's going to help it slide along here without scratching. And I've got 2 T-nuts in the top channel here. Okay. So the butt kicker goes, I'm guessing, toward the back. Is that right? Maybe not. I'll keep the butt kicker toward the front. So, oh, sorry, felt pads. Felt pads is what we are doing. Felt pad there. Felt pad here. Okay, so now I need to put end caps on these. Where are my end caps? Suppose they're with the metal accessories. Indeed. So all I'm going to do is put these end caps on something like this, and there's some pre-threaded holes in the extrusion. So it should be a special bolt, and then it's countersunk. There they are. Wrong size Allen key. Rookie mistake. Yeah, I'm going to keep the butt kicker towards the front, guys. That way, if I do decide to mount it on here, it'll be a little bit easier to access from seating position. I'm not trying to reach all the way under the seat to get it. It should slide. There we go. Okay. So yeah, these are obviously seat rails. go. So double check. Yep. So I got the butt kicker toward the front of the rig. There we go. 2 seat rails. Okay. So now I'm going to put. You guys probably saw me grab these earlier. These are. Hello. These are the seat rail adjustment. What would you call them? Levers, I guess. So it allows you to slide the whole seat forward quite easily. So I'm just going to have to find a couple of T-nuts to mount these into, which at this point I'm pretty sure I've got spare T-nuts. So I'm going to move these guys out of the way. In fact, take them all the way back. How are these going? Okay, 1. Two. Okay, and I will repeat the process on the other side, obviously. And probably have to do a similar operation to free these T-nuts as I did to get the T-nuts on the front for the pedal plates. Probably going to take 1 bolt out. Voila. Cool. So let's see, for taller users. Okay, so the next step broadly, guys, is to get 1, 2, is to get these 2 pieces of metal mounted onto the seat rails, something like this. So I'm going to push that as far back as I can. And it does have, let's see, you can overhang it. Oh, I gotcha. Okay. So yeah, fairly easy here. Just turning some 16s, right? 16s. And then I can actually temporarily move this rail forward, and then I'll move the whole thing back once I've got it put together. Repeat on the other side, obviously. Again, just hand snug for now, but there we go. I think we must be getting fairly close to the end here. Okay, so next step is to install the butt kicker. What would you call it? Nipple, nub, whatever. So I'm gonna have to actually flip this upright, or on its side rather, which might be easier said than done. Don't get any scratches on it. Very carefully. I guess I should have flipped it the other way so you guys could actually see something. There. Yes. Okay. So yeah, just got a couple of T-nuts on the bottom, and then we're going to put this, you see that? This little nub, which is a butt kicker mount, onto the bottom. I'll get this back upright. Go ahead and tighten the butt kicker mount. I don't see myself revisiting or adjusting that at any point. All right, so now I think the last major step is to put the shifter plate in. So it can go on either side, obviously. How am I going to show you guys this? Well, I guess it doesn't matter too much. So let's get to building. You know what? I'll flip this around so you guys can actually see what I'm working on. Or will I? Oops. Squish my extrusion there. All right, so first step. Yeah, these boxes are basically empty at this point, so I think we must be close to at the finish line. Okay, yeah, so I'm going to slide some T-nuts down here. Oh, this is so much better. Slide some T-nuts down here and put the mount, the shifter mount arm somewhere about halfway up, I believe. Oops. Actually, wait, we need two of them. So yeah, it's going to sit something like this and this. Yeah. So we're back to 16s. Back to 16s. So unless I've missed some crucial steps, it seems like we have some extra hardware, which is not at all a complaint. I love when companies send you a bit of extra hardware. Costs them pennies, saves us a trip to the hardware store should one roll under a couch or something. Okay, so do all 4 of these go on? Yes, all 4 of these go on. Nope. So close, yet so far. Okay, that's good for now. And the last piece of extrusion is here. There's the family home. So that last piece of extrusion is going to sit something like this. And then I believe what's going to happen, the shifter plate goes on that, I guess. Yeah. Let's get some T-nuts in there. Alright. Family's home. I'm going to have to pause this. Okay, so back, final piece of extrusion. I've got the T-nuts set up here as per the diagram. I'm running out of workbench space here rapidly. The next step, I'm going to put T-nuts in this channel and this channel. And by the way, I skipped ahead a little bit, and I said it was going to go like this. It's actually going to go like this. So let's go ahead and start that process now. So let's see. So 4 T-nuts in, 2 in the top, 2 in the bottom. And then I'm a little bit confused. Oh, I see. Outside view, flip it, inside view. So I need 2 more T-nuts here. So much for having spare T-nuts. All right, so I think I've got it there. And then outside. Yeah. Okay, so 16s, to get it set in here, I'm gonna guess lower is better for me. Tricky to get in there with that nut already started on that side.
Yeah, this is a somewhat difficult step. Probably the most difficult step so far. There we go. So let's get the top on. Slide this back. Obviously, you want that sort of flush with the front. Again, this is the advantage of just having everything hand tight, is that I can just, like even on these difficult steps, I can just move things around to make it easier. Okay, so all hand snug, but there we go. So that's the arm. Let's see what's next. It says to do the top first for whatever it's worth. I gotcha. Okay, so next step. Okay, I think I put the T-nuts in the wrong channel again. Seems to be a recurring theme in this video. So I'm going to relocate those, because what I want to do now is put the shifter plate onto the shifter arm. Something like this. Well, maybe it could go into the bottom channel. I don't know. Should it go into the bottom channel? It should go into the upper channel. So I'm going to put T-nuts up here. And then set my shifter mounting plate, something like this. Again, just hand snug so I can get all these started. Getting really skinny on my bolts now. But I can't imagine there's much left to do, because I'm literally out of parts. Out of extrusion parts, that is. Come on, you. Okay. C'est bon. All right, what is next, if anything? Popping bags. Next. Oh, right, yeah, okay. So this is actually a cool step. I'm actually excited to show you guys this. So this interesting fellow is a tool holder. So you can actually store, you guys seeing that? You can actually store your Allen keys in here and never lose them. And you have no idea how many times I have gone back to this tool holder on my FGT Elite to grab miscellaneous, or to grab my Allen keys rather, just to do miscellaneous tweaks on the rig. Didn't I say something about washers going under couches earlier? Some say he lives in the future. All right. No washer needed. Huh, interestingly it shows a washer, but I can't seem to fit a washer. Yeah, I don't need a washer. Not sure why it shows a washer there, because it physically doesn't fit, unless I've got the wrong size washer or something. Yeah, really cool tool holder. Great idea, because the thing about aluminum extrusion rigs is you're always making little tweaks, always adding things, and it's nice not to have to go and search out Allen keys, especially if you don't keep a big tool chest in your garage. No need to tighten that, of course. And there it is. There it is. What are we at? 9 minutes plus, I think 18 for the previous video. So 9 and 18 is 27 plus a little over an hour. So around 90 minutes, hour and a half to get it built. So next steps, it comes with caps to put on all these rough edges of extrusion, which are basically every end. So I'm going to put the caps on, get it on the ground, obviously, start mounting my equipment, get my seat on. And then I'll do a little drive and test and see how I like it, and probably just do a voiceover of my impressions of the GT Elite cockpit. But another great build. I loved building the FGT Elite, and this has been another one. A few confusing steps, but I think it's probably honestly on me, just simply because I'm trying to manage the camera and the build at the same time. But overall, fairly smooth, and yeah. Another great feeling build. All right, so let's go on to the next phase of the video.
All right, so time for some final thoughts and an abbreviated rundown of the features of the Next Level Racing GT Elite cockpit. For disclosure, this unit was sent to me for review free of charge, but no script or talking points or compensation were provided. And again, if you're looking for a deeper dive into what this cockpit is, you can refer back to my FGT Elite cockpit review from last year, since this is the same unit with a few less features. And the GT Elite is the newest aluminum extrusion cockpit from Next Level Racing. It's available in both a wheel plate edition for bottom mounting or clamping your wheelbase like you've seen in this video, or a front and side mount edition for wheelbases that can accommodate it. The GT Elite is a cockpit only, but includes mounting options for your seat, racing wheel, pedals, shifter, and handbrake from nearly any manufacturer. The cockpit ships with all of the required parts and hardware, plus basic tools for building it. It's shipped in a single box with foam cutouts to help prevent damage during shipping. The wheel height, seat distance, and pedal angle and distance are all adjustable to accommodate drivers of all sizes. At $699 for the wheel plate edition, this is the least expensive aluminum cockpit in Next Level Racing's lineup, and they were able to accomplish this discount by making the ability to attach motion products or tilt the seat to a formula position feature add-ons rather than stock components. And that is, of course, why this GT Elite exists. For those not looking for some of the secondary features of the FGT model, but still looking for an aluminum extrusion solution like this, Next Level Racing has made a more affordable version. Both the motion attachments and the brackets for further tilting the seat can be added later through add-on kits. So you save $300 on either the wheel plate edition or the front and side mount edition, and these cockpits now come in at $699 and $799 respectively. Are the savings worth it? In my opinion, yes. I happen to use motion, but I know the majority of users won't, so the opportunity to save the average user some money by omitting features they won't use right away is a good move. At the $700 price point, the GT Elite isn't the best priced cockpit option in the market, and when you talk about aluminum extrusion rigs, DIY is always going to be a competitor, and going that way is almost always a more competitive price than pre-configured bundles like this. But relative to the market for those looking to simply receive one box and assemble a pre-designed cockpit, the GT Elite is in line with competitor pricing from what I can see, and is almost certainly the best looking aluminum extrusion racing cockpit on the market. And I have the advantage of reviewing this cockpit after about a half a year of analogous user experience with my FGT Elite, and I can honestly say that this is a fantastic cockpit to own. Both the GT and the FGT Elite units are solid as bricks, they look great, and they have a lot of options for expansion as your gear and priorities change over time as a sim racer. And those of you who follow my channel know I get quite a bit of new gear sent to me for review, so my racing setup is in a near constant state of change and reconfiguration, but moving things around and adding new gear is really easy with the Elite series, and those are the biggest selling points of the GT Elite cockpit. If you were to ask me why you should choose the GT Elite specifically, my answer would be broadly that this is a strong and good-looking sim racing cockpit with a comparatively easy building process that should make those looking to have everything in one package rather than going the DIY path happy. And again, it's not the cheapest option for a cockpit, but it can be seen as the baseline entry into Next Level Racing's Elite ecosystem. If you decide in the future that you want to hard mount your monitor to your cockpit, or add motion, or add more monitors, or drive from a reclined formula position and so forth, you can keep it all first party and have your Next Level Racing build grow with you. So in closing, the FGT Elite has served me well since the fall of last year, and the GT Elite is a more cost-effective solution with identical build quality. Unless you have motion in your immediate purchase future or the strong desire to race in a formula seating position, the GT Elite is the way to go between the two cockpit options. It's going to look gorgeous in your setup today, and it can grow with you in the future. Links are in the description to learn more about the GT Elite cockpit and where you can buy one for yourself, and thank you for watching.